Pahrump Early Learning Academy, our goal is to provide a complete nurturing environment for the growth and development of the whole child, socially, emotionally, physically, and intellectually. Children are natural explorers and need hands-on experiences to help stimulate their own imaginations. We strive to meet the needs of each individual child at their developmental level through planned activities, plus help each child attain a higher level of achievement. Call 751-5335 for more information.
News 46 is brought to you by Comfort Hospice Care, where we give our patients and their loved ones peace of mind, knowing we provide the highest quality of care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 751-0349. News is also brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
Tonight on News 46, a fatal rollover occurs on Leslie Street. The High Desert International Film Festival is a success. A fire happens at a recycling facility. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Jason Kodlitz. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, May 28th, 2014. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. One person has been killed and another critically injured following a single vehicle rollover last night on Leslie Street. Last night around 5:30, a silver 2008 Nissan Altima was traveling southbound on Leslie Street, approaching the intersection of Silver Sage. For unknown reasons, the 45-year-old female driver from Pahrump allowed the vehicle to cross the west paved shoulder and enter the dirt gravel shoulder. The driver overcorrected the steering of the vehicle to the right, causing it to rotate clockwise. The vehicle traveled off the paved road and entered the property located at 2021 Silver Sage Drive in a broadside skid, striking a street sign, utility box, and a metal fence. The left side tires of the vehicle furlowed and overturned. The driver, who was not wearing her seatbelt, was ejected from the vehicle. The vehicle came to rest on its roof on top of a forklift. The 31-year-old male front right passenger of the vehicle, also from Pahrump, was transported to UMC Trauma Center via Mercy Air. The female driver was transported to Desert View Hospital by Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue, where she succumbed to her injuries sustained in the crash. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A debris fire occurred this morning at Pahrump Valley Recycling on Mesquite. The 20 by 20 foot fire consisted of tires and occurred where the workers were reportedly preparing metal for recycling. The blaze was quickly extinguished. No other property damage has been reported. A literary voice revered globally for her poetic command and her commitment to civil rights has fallen silent. Maya Angelou died at her home in Winston-Salem, North Carolina today. Angelou had been frail and suffering from heart problems. Angelou's legacy leaves behind a body of important artistic work that influenced several generations. But the 86-year-old was praised by those who knew her as a good person, a woman who had pushed for justice, education, and equality. When we come back from this break, we'll have your Desert View Hospital health tip.
I'm Norma Jean with Realty Executives in Action. Do you have any real estate plans for 2014? Why not put your plans in the hands of an executive? It costs no more to have the very best. Put our experience to work for you.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Integrity Taxi. Reliable, safe, and fun. Call Integrity Taxi at 751-1111.
Welcome back to News 46. Vitamin D is known to be important when it comes to bone health and also in diseases where inflammation occurs, like asthma. Many people, including some of those with asthma, have low levels of vitamin D. A new study examined whether adults being treated with inhaled steroids could better control their asthma if their vitamin D levels were increased to normal.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Mike Mitchell has dealt with asthma since he was a child.
I've gone from not being able to run basically a block as a 7-year-old to running half marathons now.
Mike helps control his asthma with an inhaled steroid medication. It reduces the inflammation in his airways. He also had low vitamin D levels.
Perhaps by replacing the vitamin D, we could actually help their medications work better, in particular inhaled steroids, and that would help control that inflammation and control their asthma better.
Dr. Mario Castro from Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis and co-authors looked at 408 adults, including Mike.
Big deep breath. Blow hard.
They all had symptomatic asthma requiring inhaled steroids along with low vitamin D levels. Half the participants were given high-dose vitamin D supplements for a total of 28 weeks. The other half were given a placebo.
There was no effect on asthma control, and this was whether or not we looked at asthma exacerbations or their symptoms or their control of their asthma. All those things were not affected by replacing their vitamin D. Replacing vitamin D is not indicated in patients with asthma, even when their vitamin D levels are low.
For Mike, his asthma isn't holding him back.
I am living very well with the disease. At this point in my life, it's very controlled. And I am looking forward to actually running in a full marathon this fall.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Study participants did not have any adverse events associated with taking the vitamin D. A confrontation occurred this afternoon between the Anybody But Rick folks and Lieutenant Mark Medina with the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The citizens to elect an ethical Nye County Sheriff were in the neighborhood of Highway 160 and Simpkins this afternoon. According to a report by a neighbor in that area, she stated that the individuals were on the property of a lieutenant with the Nye County Sheriff's Office who had a posted Rick Marshall sign in his yard. The neighbor apparently called Lieutenant Mark Medina at the Nye County Sheriff's Office to say that there was people trespassing onto his property. He arrived on scene but did call into the Nye County Sheriff's Office to have a marked vehicle dispatched to that location. Upon arrival, they did not find the individuals, but did find the signs posted on his door. Lieutenant Mark Medina and Deputy Greg Curtin did locate the individuals on the next street, who apparently were the same deputies that have put in for paid stress leave, referencing the issue with the arrest of Assistant Sheriff Rick Marshall. These individuals reportedly got into an argument with Lieutenant Mark Medina and shouted expletives to their lieutenant, which we are being told is against policy for the Nye County Sheriff's Office. The district attorney has been alerted and a report has been taken, as well as a possible internal investigation as to what actually happened in the neighborhood of Simpkins and Highway 160 this afternoon. There have been reports of more and more bee attacks lately in the valley. Fire Chief Scott Lewis gives some advice on how to handle them if you come in contact with aggressive bees.
Bees have been active, and we have talked to some of the pest control in the area, and they indicated that they're getting a larger call volume for such incidents. And the bees yesterday, we were dispatched for the report of possibly 2 people being swarmed by bees. Fortunately, they weren't being swarmed, but there was a large development of bees at the back porch of the residence, and it was a very active environment. And so all precautions were taken, people were protected, local animals and livestock were also protected, and they were going to be taking care of that issue in the evening hours when everything calmed down.
What area was this?
This was just off of Gamebird in the area of Rainbow.
So we've had 2 of them on the west side of town in just recent weeks. Is that a similar area over there, or no? That's not even close.
No, it appears that they're moving quite a bit. But again, the precautions for us is to make sure that if you do see the activities, don't go in that area. Report it to, call 911, tell them what you have. And again, try to eliminate any noise or activity that would get them to swarm even faster or to become more active. Notify your neighbors so that they can protect their animals or livestock or children, and make sure everybody is in good shape, because those bees have a tendency to want to go and attack those types of things.
And once they bite you, they keep coming after you, don't they?
Yeah, it's my understanding that they can do that, but I guess it would determine what kind of bees they are. and we just take the precautions to make sure everybody's safe.
We heard that you're supposed to assume that all bees here are Africanized in southern Nevada.
I'm okay with that approach because we're certainly going to take it and just assume the worst case scenario.
And so if you see the bees around, stay away from them, stay inside. You can call, of course, for help.
Yeah, protect your family members and your pets and make sure that everybody is safe and in a situation where they can get out of there quickly if they need to.
Be careful out there. When we come back from this break, we'll have some more local news. Stay tuned.
Prup, are you getting tired of being capped on your internet? Well, not anymore. Wave Direct has no data caps, and with great local customer service, why go anywhere else? 30-day trials are available. Call 775-253-3887.
Today's news is brought to you in part by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300.
Welcome back. The Bounty Hunter Saloon is open for business. We spoke to the owner this morning to find out more. I'm here with Daryl Kepner, the new owner of Bounty Hunter. How long have you guys been open?
Since October.
How's it going?
Pretty good. We're getting a lot of regular clientele, and we have a lot of special events that bring in people. We have a real homey atmosphere.
I've noticed you guys have redone this whole place. It used to be the Sunset Tavern. A lot of work and effort has went into here. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, we put a lot of TLC in the place. It's, it's like I said, it's like home. It's very homey. Yeah, we put a lot of work into it, and I think everybody's really happy with it.
You've been having events too.
Oh yeah, we have lots of special events. Of course, we have karaoke every Friday and Saturday night, and we have special, like we had a disco night that went over really well, and we're having an 80s night coming up, a Friday the 13th party, and in the future we're going to have more planned. We have 50s, other eras, stuff like that. We're having a really big 4th of July party.
Wow.
Because the fireworks, you can see the fireworks from right up front.
Yeah.
They're right there.
So you're going to have out in the parking lot out here and watch the fireworks.
Water slides, stuff for the kids, all kinds of stuff. Like we did that for Cinco de Mayo too.
Fantastic. You guys have got some great tables here, ready to entertain if people would like to come down here to party or have a party down here too as well.
Oh yes, yeah, we got plenty of room for parties, and we got the private tables we made homemade from the what do you call them, the power spools.
There you go.
Yeah, all homemade.
The parties are going over really well. When is the 80s party?
June 7th, Saturday, June 7th.
Is it in the evening?
At 7 o'clock.
And then the Friday the 13th is June 13th?
Yeah, Friday, June 13th at 7 o'clock. And we'll have karaoke going on too at the same, as usual.
So every Friday and Saturday night karaoke's here. What time does that start?
7 o'clock every Friday and Saturday with Joe Anderson.
Mm-hmm. And then if people would like to book a party here, can they do that too as well?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Do you have a phone number?
It's 775-513-3370.
And they also are having food down there and will soon have gaming. Well, the Cops television show is continuing to film here in our town. The television show Cops continues to film out here in Pahrump. News 46 caught up with them on Highway 372 next to Comstock Park, where Nye County Sheriff's deputies were conducting an arrest. 2 suspects were questioned at the scene. It appears that only one was taken into custody. However, News 41 was not aware of what was actually happening at the scene because, as you may know, our scanners have been unable to hear the transmissions that is going on between the Nye County Sheriff's deputies and dispatch at this time. News 46 is working on the scanner issues at this time with the Nye County Sheriff's Office and some technical people. If you see anything in your neighborhood you would like to let us know about, give us a call here at 775-727-9400, extension 201 or 203. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46. Didn't fear that the cop show appreciated our news crew being out there. Well, the High Desert International Film Festival was held this weekend at the Pahrump Nugget. The High Desert International Film Festival was once again held this past weekend. The creator Linda Cass spoke to us about the event prior to the engagement at the Prump Nugget.
The audiences are really enjoying the movies, and we've got some good ones.
Many events happen throughout the weekend at the Prump Nugget and other locations for the High Desert International Film Festival. This year, they decided to drop their shorts, as they say, and show full-length movies. Over 60 entries from all over the world vied for such titles as People's Choice and to take home the Lulu Award. Special guests this year were Anne Serling, who is the daughter of Rod Serling, the producer, writer, and director of the Twilight Zone episodes, as well as Night Gallery and many other shows. She spoke about her new book called As I Knew Him. Also appearing was Sophie Simmons for a short time. She's the daughter of Gene Simmons from Kiss. She's listed as actress, singer, and philanthropist. She talked about how she is running homes for abused children. However, Sophie, interestingly enough, spoke before a group of children at the Night Communities Coalition for a Twilight Zone episode that the kids had made for this actual film festival. She was extremely rude to the children who asked questions of her. In fact, she decided not to come to the black tie event later in the evening, stating that she had a family emergency at home. Throughout the weekend, movies were shown on the big screen in the Prump Nugget Event Center. Anne Serling also read and answered questions at one point from the audience. News 46 spoke to many actors and directors at the event who also answered questions from the audience during the night. Sunday night was the awards ceremony, which also included the winner of People's Choice, in which the audience chose which film they liked the best. We'll see you next year for the High Desert International Film Festival. For more information, you can find them on the web, highdesertiff.com. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46. And in the coming weeks, we'll have some more one-on-ones with the filmmakers. I know some of you out there will just love this next story. A local man has used his skills to make a much-needed tool, a welder.
I made it out of a microwave.
A microwave oven?
Yeah, a common, ordinary microwave that everybody has in their house.
So how did you come up with this? What happened?
The internet.
But your dad took your other welder?
Yeah, I was borrowing my dad's MIG welder, and he needed it to weld on something he was doing on his street rod, so he came over and took his welder back. I was without a welder, so I built one.
So you went on the internet. What did you find? What were you searching for? How to build a welder?
I don't know. I was just surfing YouTube and different sites, and it came across, and I was like, that's cool. And I started researching more about it, and so I built one.
How does a microwave turn into a welder?
It has to do with the transformers inside the microwave. There's a primary and a secondary winding inside the transformer, which makes it a step up or step down transformer. You got to remove the primary winding out of it, because that's a real thin wire. You keep the secondary winding, you make that the primary winding, and you rewind the transformer with thicker wire, which will make it a step down transformer, so it'll make it less volt, more amps. And you add two of them, hook it to 220, and you're popping out 200 amps, which is enough to weld with.
So it's functional, you've been using it?
Yeah. I built the trike that's behind you, the V8 trike, with that welder.
That is amazing. So are you building other things too as well?
After I got done doing the stick welder, I built a spot welder.
And so that works out too as well?
Yes.
And you're using these on an everyday basis. How much do you think it cost you total?
The stick welder, I spent $16 on a new stinger. That's what the electrodes go into to be able to weld. Everything else I had.
Okay.
I got the welder for free from my dad.
And then just an old microwave oven somewhere.
Yep, nah.
Well, after this break, we'll have your entertainment this week, first business brief, and your weather with Noah Beacon. Stay tuned. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's wedding day was nothing short of luxurious. The reality TV star and rapper wed at the Fort D Belvedere in Florence, Italy on Saturday. After the ceremony, Mr. and Mrs. West were joined by guests for an extravagant reception, including a 4-course meal and 7-tiered wedding cake. While both Kris and Bruce Jenner gave heartfelt speeches and John Legend serenaded the newlyweds with his hit ballad All of Me, the arguably most memorable moment was on-site rappers' 20-minute discussion about the pitfalls of fame and the Kardashian status. The lyrics to the Friends theme song, I'll Be There For You, proved to be more than just words this week when actor David Schwimmer helped cops solve an alleged stabbing near his building. Schwimmer, best known for his starring role as Ross Geller in the 10-year hit NBC show, invited cops into his New York City townhouse Monday to view his surveillance video of a bloody brawl that took place in an adjacent apartment building. The disagreement became physical and one of the individuals involved suffered stab wounds to the face. The victims were treated at Bellevue Hospital. The alleged stabber was arrested by police. The first police officer at the scene of Tupac Shakur's 1996 drive-by murder has revealed the last words spoken by the late rap legend. And they're not exactly peaceful. The cop said, "He looked at me, he took a breath to get the words out, and he opened his mouth and said, F you." Shakur was shot multiple times on September 7th of 1996 after leaving a boxing match with former Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight. Fox News anchor Greg Jarrett spent a dozen hours in jail after being arrested on charges of interfering with a police officer at the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. The 59-year-old Jarrett was belligerent and uncooperative with police officers who responded to a report Wednesday that he was drunk at an airport bar. Jarrett was released from the Hennepin County Jail on a $300 bond early on Thursday. He has a June 6th court date on a misdemeanor charge of obstruction of the legal process and interfering with a police officer. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. That's your entertainment this week.
This is the first business brief for Wednesday, May 28th. I'm Angela Miles. The Honda Accord is still #1 in the eyes of car thieves. For the 5th year in a row, the Accord takes the top honor among the most stolen cars, followed by Honda Civic, Toyota Camry, Toyota Corolla, Chevrolet Silverado, Acura Integra, Cadillac Escalade, Ford F-350, Nissan Altima, and Chevy Tahoe. Calling it the most effective way to reduce smoking, the World Health Organization wants a tax hike on tobacco. The group says a 50% increase translates into 49 million fewer smokers and 11 million fewer deaths in the next 3 years. And there's no let-up to the controversy over CEO pay. A new study finds the average CEO is making a record $10.5 million, an increase of 8.8% from just 2 years ago. It is the first time the median pay hit 8 figures. That's the first business brief. I'm Angela Miles.
News 46 weather is brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body.
Hello and welcome back to News 46. Today is Wednesday, May 28th. Today we had partly cloudy skies with a high of 95 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is 93 degrees, so not that much different than your average. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest today at 11 miles per hour with the gusts up to 35 miles per hour. The UV index today was 10, which is very high. Humidity was at 14%. Sunrise is at 5:30 this morning, and the record high in 2003 was 109 degrees. Tonight we'll have partly cloudy skies with a low of 68 degrees. Your average temperature at this time of year is very different. It's actually 69 degrees. Winds will be coming from the northwest at 7 miles per hour with gusts up to 16 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 20%. Sunset will be at 7:53 p.m. and the record low in 1971 was 50 degrees. Tomorrow we'll have sunny skies with a high of 95 degrees and a low of 67 degrees. Winds will be coming from the south-southwest at 10 miles per hour with gusts up to 22 miles per hour. Humidity will be at 19%. Sunrise will be at 5:29 a.m. and the UV index will be 10, which is very high. For our 7-day forecast, looks like we're going to have a nice sunny 7 days there. Your high temperatures will be ranging from the high 80s to the mid 90s, and your low temperatures will be ranging from the low to high 60s.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of News 46. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. From everyone up here on the Hill, we wish you a wonderful night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.